Thank you for tuning in to Keanoreads Goosebumps. Welcome back. Today, I'd like to introduce you all to something a little different. Have you ever read the opening, what I consider to be teaser section of a Goosebump book? I'm sure most of you have, and my next question is this: have you ever wondered what they all say? Well, let's find out together, starting today with the first instalment, books 1 to 10, from the classic 62 book set, featuring exclusively the UK editions. Furthermore, once this video hits 100 views, the next episode will be unlocked and books 11 to 20 made available to watch. I hope you enjoy Keano. Book 1, Welcome to Deadhouse, UK edition, first published in the UK, 1993. I could feel myself start to choke. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't move. I opened my mouth to call out to Josh, but no sound came out. Josh, where was he? I looked down the rows of gravestones, but couldn't see his light. Ray floated up a little higher. He hovered over me, choking me somehow, blinding me, suffocating me. I'm dead, I thought. Dead. Now I'm dead too. When Amanda and Josh moved to Dark Falls, they're not too sure about the new neighbourhood. There's something odd about the kids who live there. They're friendly, all right. Maybe a little too friendly. In fact, they want to be friends forever. Say Cheese and Die, Book 2, first published in the UK by Scholastic Limited in 1993. Once again, Greg found himself thinking of the pictures he had taken with the weird camera. First Michael, then Terry, then Bird, then his father. All 4 photos had shown something terrible that hadn't happened yet. And then all 4 photos had come true. Greg felt a chill as the lift doors opened and the small crowd of people moved forward to squeeze inside. What was the truth about the camera, he wondered. Does the camera show the future? Or does it actually cause bad things to happen? Greg and his friends think it's pretty cool when they find an old camera in the derelict house, and it works. But the camera takes weird photos, and Greg starts to realise that it's no ordinary camera, and it's creepy. More than that, it's evil. Book 3, Stay Out of the Basement, first published in the UK in 1993. Hey Dad, Casey called excitedly. Dad, can we see? They were halfway down when their father appeared at the foot of the stairs. He glared up at them angrily, his skin strangely green under the fluorescent lighting fixture. He was holding his right hand, drops of red blood falling onto his white lab coat. Stay out of the basement, he bellowed in a voice they'd never heard before. Both kids shrank back, surprised to hear their father scream like that. He was usually so mild and soft-spoken. Stay out of the basement, he repeated, holding his bleeding hand. Don't ever come down here, I'm warning you. Margaret and Casey Brewer are worried about their father. Dr. Brewer has been spending an awful lot of time down in the basement lately. What is he doing down there? One thing's for sure, it's getting harder and harder to stay out of the basement. Book 4, The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, first published in the UK in 1994. It's a long way down, I said softly. Sari didn't reply. In the shadowy light, I could see her worried expression. She was chewing on her lower lip as her dad reached the tunnel floor. She was nervous too. That cheered me up a lot. Okay, I'm down. You're next, Gabe, Uncle Ben called up to me. I turned and swung my feet onto the rope ladder. I grinned at Sari. See ya. My hands to the side of the rope ladder, and as I slid them down, I cried out, Ow! The rope wasn't smooth, it was coarse, it cut my hands. The sharp stab of pain made me lift my hands, and before I had even realised what was happening, I started to fall. Gabe can't wait to explore the Egyptian pyramids with his uncle and cousin. And so what if he does get a little lost? After all, there's no such thing as the curse of the mummy's tomb, is there? Book 5, Monster Blood, first published in the UK in 1994. Putting down the monster blood, Evan bombed down the stairs, leaning against the banister and taking the stairs 3 at a time. Then, running full out, he practically flew to the dog run at the back of the garden. "Trigger! Hey, Trigger!" he called. Halfway across the back garden, Evan could see that something was wrong. Trigger's eyes were bulging. His mouth was wide open, his tongue flapping wildly from side to side, white spittle running down his chin hair onto the ground. As Evan reached the dog's run, Trigger's eyes rolled back, and the dog's legs collapsed under him, his stomach still heaving, the air filled with his loud, hideous gasps. Evans brought some really cool fake monster blood from a toy shop while staying with his creepy Aunt Catherine. But soon, Evan realises that there's more to this monster blood than meets the eye. Much more. In fact, the stuff's growing so quickly, it's getting out of control. Book 6, Let's Get Invisible, first published in the UK in 1994. Suddenly thought about Erin, April and Zach. They were so excited about Wednesday, about the big competition. Even April was going to get invisible this time. No, I thought. I have to call them, I have to tell them. I've really made up my mind. No more mirror, no more getting invisible. Call all 3 of them when I get back from Springfield and I'll tell them the competition is cancelled. I sat down on my bed to tie my trainer laces. Phew, I thought. That's a load off my mind. And it was. Having decided not to use the mirror ever again had made me feel so much better, much better. All of my fear seemed to float away. Little did I know that the most frightening time was still to come. When Max finds a magic mirror in the attic, it's fun because this mirror makes you invisible. But pretty soon, it's not fun anymore. Being invisible is getting scary. What if the mirror decides to make Max invisible forever? Book 7, Night of the Living Dummy, first published in the UK in 1994. A chill of fear mixed with Chris's anger. I'm beginning to hate this dummy, she thought. Fear him and hate him. Angrily, she pulled open her wardrobe door and tossed the dummy inside. It fell in a crumpled heap on the wardrobe floor. Chris slammed the wardrobe door shut. Her heart thudding, she climbed into bed and pulled up the covers. She suddenly felt very tired. Her whole body ached from weariness. She buried her face in the pillow and shut her eyes. She had just about fallen asleep when she heard the tiny voice. Let me out of here," it cried. A muffled voice coming from inside the wardrobe. When Lindy finds Slappy, a ventriloquist dummy, in her local skep, her twin sister Chris just has to get one too. And that's when all the trouble starts. Kate, The Girl Who Cried Monster, first published in the UK in 1994. This is your last warning, Dad said. I mean it, Lucy, I'm really angry. He disappeared back downstairs. I stared at the doorway where he had been standing. I'm really angry too, I thought. I'm really angry that no one in this family believes me when I'm being serious. I knew at that moment that I had no choice. I had to prove that I wasn't a liar. I had to prove that I wasn't making it all up. I had to prove to Mum and Dad that Mr. Mortman was a monster. Lucy's always telling stories, scaring her little brother Randy with her monster tales. But when Lucy really does see a monster, no one believes her. Big surprise. Can Lucy convince them that she's telling the truth this time? Book 9. Welcome to Camp Nightmare. First published in the UK in 1994. Good, I thought. Finally someone was going to pay some attention to my snakebite wound. Ignoring the sweat pouring down my forehead, I watched them make their way up the hill to the lodge. This shouldn't have happened, I thought. Suddenly, feeling shivery despite the hot sun. Something is wrong. Something is terribly wrong here. How was I to know that the horrors were just beginning? Billy thought he could handle Camp Night Moon. That was before it turned into Camp Nightmare. Book 10. The Ghost Next Door. First published in the UK in 1994. Give me the letter, Danny demanded more firmly. Give it to me now, Hannah. She gripped the letter tightly and stared up at him. She had to shield her eyes. The bright sun seemed to shine right through him. He hovered above her, his hands outstretched. The letter, hand it to me, he insisted. But why? Hannah asked in a tiny voice. I can't let you post it, Danny told her. Why, Danny? It's my letter. Why can't I post it to my friend? Because you found out the truth about me, he said, and there's no way I'll let you tell anyone. Why is Hannah's new neighbour Danny so pale and so weird? Hannah can't be sure, but she thinks he is the ghost next door. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you consider hitting the like button below, commenting and or subscribing so that you don't miss out on all things Goosebumps. For links to my Instagram and Etsy store should you be interested, there'll be a link to the Keanoreads website in the description below. Thanks again.